9:07, 7 past 9.
Jake Hartford and John Casson for Bruce and Dan on WLS 890, taking your calls and talking.
I didn't say we're going to take their calls.
Okay, no calls
No,
today.
we will take their calls.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because you know what? I think some of them will be pretty hopped up. They might want to call in later for the second part.
Oh, man. We have a lot we're going to get to today. We're going to start off with the vice presidential debate tonight. In a few minutes, we're going to have the chairman of the debate commission. I know you're saying, wow, they got the chairman of the debate commission? Because as we're talking around, we're wondering who gets in the audience. Like tonight is a straight debate with a moderator.
Well, sort of straight. The last moderator, Jim Lehrer, was beaten up by the entire media for like 2 weeks. And the suggestion was he was too soft. He didn't let Obama be Obama. And now the belief is that Martha Raddatz will unleash Joe Biden and let him devour Paul Ryan right there in front of millions of people.
And next week will be a town hall. And the question is, who gets into the town hall? How do they choose those people, and who gets to ask the questions and stuff like that?
They're independent voters with no political agenda of their own. All they do is they just want the truth. Or are they plants? That's my question. Also, I have something sad to report today.
What do you have to report that's sad?
You can see it in the column today in the Trib. The Chia Pet heads, the Obama head and the Romney head that I started off hoping that they would tell me who would win by the amount of hopium.
The hair that would grow, yeah.
The hopium or gropium. You need hopium, especially in the newsrooms. They died. My able assistant shooter informed me, I think too late, that she was basically a plant killer and not to be trusted with plants, and they kind of withered away.
My wife's a plant killer. She's got the black thumb.
So's mine. My wife, too.
Yeah, there is a nursery chain that used to be in business. My wife put them out of business because they had the guarantee if the plant died, they give you your money back. She put them out of business.
Here's how bad Shooter is. Her husband gave her a cactus because he loves plants, and finally he gave her a cactus, thinking that she couldn't do anything bad to it. And she says the cactus is still alive. So anyway,
did she overwater the cactus?
I think not watering is her thing, but she promises me that she will water. I know she's listening now, Shooter. I know you'll water the Obama head and the Romney head. The problem was the Obama head did not hold water for some reason.
Wow.
It couldn't retain moisture.
Tonight is the vice presidential debate in a very obscure part of Kentucky, Danville, Kentucky. Why it's there, I have no idea. Somebody had to get paid off to pick that spot.
There's got to be like a tasty fried chicken shack nearby.
Biscuits. They're not even staying in Danville. There aren't any hotels or something. They're staying in Lexington, an hour away. But one of the big things that people are going to be looking at is the expectations game. People are saying, well, Joe Biden's got more experience, so therefore he'll wipe the floor with Ryan.
He will.
People are saying Ryan knows a lot of the details and inside stuff, so he'll do better than Biden.
But Biden's bombastic. He's kind of a bully type, and I think he'll try to do the whole, old dude bullying thing on Ryan. I do.
He's got, if you've seen him lately on the stump and some of his speeches, he has the ability to turn on a dime. He is, and you probably know people like this that are smiling and laughing, and you're having a good time, and then all of a sudden they're just, in the blink of an eye, they're angry, and you wonder, where did this come from? And you're scared, and you're shaking in your boots if you had boots
when they turn on you. And
yeah,
they have that kind of like look,
Yeah,
they give you that vampire look. Yeah,
I mean,
and the eyes turn black. There's no white in the eyes.
Well, I don't know about
black.
that. I've seen him a couple times in the last couple of weeks where he's just.
Plus, what if he starts going with the Southern black preacher accent? I mean, how do you respond if a guy starts talking to you in a dialect that is not his own? Like if he starts doing the y'all in chains and all, how would you respond if I started talking to you in a Greek accent right now? Jake, how are you doing? How would you respond to that?
Well, we're gonna know if we're in for a fun night.
The Seabass, Jake, order the Seabass.
If the first thing he says that he loves being there in Kentucky and seeing all the beautiful smiles. If he says that, get yourself a couple extra beers. It's going to be a great night.
I'm going to have a couple just to do it, just to watch. Because you got to think there's a hint. The appeal of Biden is that there's always the hint that he's going to go madman. You know what I mean? He'll say something about 7-Elevens or Indian accents or something.
And after this is all over, people will say they both lied. None of what they said was true. That's what it's going to be when it's all over. Now, he's playing for high stakes, Joe Biden is, because he's already said he would like to run for president in 2016. So he's kind of preparing himself for the next election.
Yeah, because you would put the presidency in Joe Biden's hands.
Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? I mean, he can run a 7-Eleven. He can speak in tongues. What else? And
he will make it look like Paul Ryan can't be president. Too young to be president.
He'll do that young thing, like I knew John Kennedy. You're no John Kennedy. You know, remember the?
How old is Biden?
I don't know, 85. What is he?
No, how old is he? 70? It's got to be in his 60s.
He's in his, I'd say, in his late 60s, but his front teeth are I think are about in their 20s. Because he's got the whitest teeth and big teeth too.
Is he old enough to have known Jack Kennedy? No, he would have been a kid.
And you know what? I think Ryan was probably, what? Was he even conceived when Biden became a senator?
69, I'm told. Kirk in Johnsville. Good morning, Kirk.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to say that I hope Biden falls flat on his face tonight, because then people are going to see one of the main reasons not to vote for Obama is the fact that Biden would become president if something happened to Obama.
Well, they voted for him last time. That was even after he made the 7-Eleven crack. He still was elected. So
yeah, but he was just vice president. I mean, if something happened to Obama, he'd become president, and then we'd all be in trouble.
Yeah, so. But some people would say that would be an improvement, Kirk. Thanks, Kirk.
Thanks, Kirk.
Yeah.
Yes, think about that. See, some people have said that. 9:15. When we come back, we're going to have Frank Fahrenkopf on, the chairman of the Debate Commission. Ask him how he ended up in Danville, Kentucky. But right now, it's time for 89 WS traffic. 9:16. John Cass, Jake Hartford. I want to remind you that the 89 WS box office opens every Thursday, giving you a chance to win tickets to an upcoming show or event. Later today, we have your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Mythbusters Behind the Myths tour on Saturday, November 10th at the Sears Center Arena. Tickets are now on sale. For information, go to WSAM.com. And we're going to be doing this later on today.
Yes, we are.
And we're waiting for the big debate tonight, too.
I can't wait to see how Biden's teeth perform, because you still wonder, are they going to fall out? I mean, when he's talking?
You're just terrible.
What do you think?
You're just terrible.
I am. I'm worse than you think I am.
You've got the debate.
Right.
And we're going to be taking calls, not us, but Sam Adams Jr. and Pat Brady will be taking calls after the debate right here.
Pat Brady, the chairman of the Republican Party of Illinois, and Sam, the top criminal defense lawyer for the Democrats. I don't know. Sorry. Couldn't help that. I like you, Sam. Sorry.
So you got that going tonight, but then you also have baseball, and then you also have a football game.
Who's playing?
It doesn't matter. It's football.
Right.
It does.
Exactly. Sex and violence.
That's what I always tell my wife. Joining us right now is the co-chairman of the Debate Commission, Frank Fahrenkopf. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Hey, how are you, Jeff? Good to be with you.
Welcome to the show. Real quick, we were talking about how do people get into the debates to be in the audience, like for tonight and then for next week when it's a town hall deal?
The debate tickets, as you can imagine, are in tremendous demand. But fundamentally what we do is the candidates each get about a third of the tickets, and then the remaining third of the tickets is split usually between the university that hosted and the commission. And so, for example, I'm not sure it's exactly a third. I'll give you rough numbers. So the Obama campaign, in this case, the vice president's campaign, will determine who gets their tickets. The same with Romney Ryan. And then what happens on most university campuses is they hold some sort of a lottery for students that you don't get tickets, and then the commission takes care of the people who support us. And because we're a private institution, we raise all our money privately. We get no money from the government or from the campaigns or the candidates.
You ever catch people trying to scalp the tickets?
No, we got Secret Service involved, so you wouldn't want to try that.
How did you guys pick Danville, Kentucky?
Well, we go through a process every 4 years. For example, this time a year ago, January, we sent out requests for bids for all colleges and universities in the country. And we normally get somewhere in the neighborhood of about 40 campuses that are interested. We then have a team that have been with us for almost 20 years of cameramen, lighting people, sound people who go out and look at the facilities. They report back to us, cut it maybe to 10 or 12 schools. Then the Secret Service goes out and looks at the campuses because they want to be sure that they can, from a security standpoint, lock them down. And then that cuts the list a little smaller. And then we try to get geographic diversity. We try to do one in the West, one in the Midwest, one in the South, and one in the Northeast. Doesn't always work out that way. 4 years ago, St. Louis was the Western school because it was on the western side of the Mississippi River because they didn't get any acceptable bids. But we were here in Center 8 years ago in a vice presidential debate between Dick Cheney and Joe Lieberman. So we were familiar with the campus, familiar with this wonderful, wonderful small town. I mean, this is real Americana. And they put together a wonderful bid. So they were fortunate, and we've come back.
Now, next week, you're going to have the presidential debate in a town hall setting.
Yep.
I'm just wondering, I've only been covering politics for 5 minutes, but I wonder how many times do people try to stack, or campaigns try to stack, the so-called independent people who stand up and ask a question, and maybe they're really SEIU people or Club for Growth people on the right. How do you make sure that the campaigns can't influence that?
We have worked with the Gallup organization since the very beginning of the town hall. The first town hall was held in 1992. And so Gallup goes out into the statistical marketing district, in this case on Long Island around Hofstra University, and they're the ones who go out and find for us 80 representative voters who say that they haven't made up their mind yet. I mean, there's no guarantee. But it'd be pretty hard to salt that crowd by one of the campaigns. Since Gallup does it, we don't do it, and the campaigns really have nothing to say with regard to who that group of people might be.
So those 80 people are separate from the audience, then?
That's correct.
Are they known to the campaigns once they're selected?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that
Does
question.
the campaign find out, say, if Jake Hartford and John Cass were selected, would the campaigns know that we were selected before the debate?
No, they would not. They made up the day of the debate. They would know, because what we do is we bring those people in the day of the debate. I mean, for many of these people, they've never talked into a microphone in their life. I mean, it's a traumatic experience for them, and they realize they may be watched by 60 to 100 million people. So we bring them in that day. So when they're selected and they actually show up that day, the campaigns know who they are, and the public knows who they are.
This may seem like a real stupid question, but that's I'm famous for. Mm-hmm. There's a pizza chain, national pizza chain, who's offering lifetime pizza if somebody at the debate next week asks pepperoni or sausage. Do you talk to these people and say, hey, don't ask that question, or else we're going to have the Secret Service take you out back?
Taser.
Well, we do spend some time with them. I've got to tell you a couple of times over the years. I mean, they spend the afternoon with us, and the moderator will introduce herself to them, and we'll go through some basic things. We tell them some things to do and not to do. I haven't gotten to the point where we've gotten into what kind of pizza they want, but I guess we better warn them.
Well, will you seriously? Will you warn them?
I think we'll probably mention that. I hadn't heard that. We might just say, if you've got outside influences, your job here is to represent the American people. 80 people are representing, 140 million or whatever it may be. I've lost track of how many Americans we have these days. Maybe it's closer to 200 million. But you have a very, very serious job to do here, and most of the time they take it serious. Only one time, I remember the first debate, I had to remove someone about 5 minutes because we went on the air because he had a plastic flask with him, and all afternoon he'd be nipping a little bit.
Well, that's politics.
Yeah, we had to ask him to leave.
there's been some controversy over Martha Raddatz, the debate moderator tonight, and the issue, or is it tonight? Yeah, and the issue is she invited Barack Obama and others to her wedding years ago, and her ex-husband is the boss of the FCC that Obama put in there. How do you see that?
Well, we're talking about something that happened 20, 30 years ago, and in my experience, ex-wives don't usually go out of the way to help ex-husbands. And so we know Martha. Martha is tremendously respected by people in the media, in the political world. We look at their quality of work back for 6 or 8 months. All the moderators we do to make sure that they're fair and balanced and are not taking a position one way or the other.
So you select them, right? You select them, don't you?
The commission selects them. We have no consultation with the campaigns. We're the ones who come up with the people. We try to get balance. As you know, we have gender balance this time. Not everyone's always happy. I mean, the Hispanic community demanded that we appoint a Hispanic. The NAACP demanded we appoint a black. So, we can't make everyone happy. We're only talking about 4 spots.
All right, Chairman, we appreciate you taking a few minutes, and enjoy the debate tonight. I know there's going to be about 70 million people watching.
Great. Thanks so much.
Bye, Chairman. Frank Fahrenkopf, co-chairman of the Debate Commission. It's 9:25. Time for Traffic on the Fives on 89 WLS.
When news breaks, turn to 89 WLS first to get the facts and form your own opinion. Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS.
Jake Hartford, John Cass in for Bruce and Dan, who are in for Don and Roma. When we come back, the latest on Libya, including the mother of one of the victims who got killed, is speaking out. Also, they didn't have money for security, but the Vienna embassy got Chevy Volts, $100,000 charging station, and a whole lot more, while the Libya embassy got bupkis. All that and more as we continue right here. It's 9:30, time for Dave Stewart with news, weather, traffic on 89 WLS.